mentors, interacting with your own animals, and perhaps literature and other media can help, whether it be movies or essays or fiction. We're all looking forward to the movie this spring when Water for Elephants comes out as a movie and see just how well they portray what we have already read. And I would now like to read you a poem that I find quite useful in restoring my joy of being around animals and people. And it's by the poet Mark Doty. And I know that many of us had not so positive experiences with poetry in high school or before. And if somebody says they're going to read a poem, you think, oh my goodness, what is happening now? Are we going to have to dissect it and put it back together again? And somebody's going to ask what the interior meaning is? No, none of that. You can just listen to it. And it's written from the perspective of the dog, Bo, which is the poet's dog, who is a golden retriever. The title of the poem is Bo, Golden Retrievals. Fetch. Balls and sticks capture my attention seconds at a time. Catch? I don't think so. Bunny, tumbling leaf, a squirrel who's, oh joy, actually scared. Sniff the wind, then I'm off again. Muck, pond, ditch, residue of any thrillingly dead thing. And you? Either you're sunk in the past, half-hour walk, thinking of what you never can bring back, or else you're off in some fog concerning tomorrow? Is that what you call it? My work, to unsnare time's warp and woof, retrieving my haze-headed friend, you. The shining bark, a Zen master's bronzy gong, calls you here entirely now. Bow wow, bow wow, bow wow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Dr. Jim Fairless is the member for Ontario on the Council of the Canadian Veterinary Medical Association, the national body that speaks for veterinarians and our interests. Dr. Fairless is a 1980 OVC graduate and therefore my classmate in, although others here might dispute it, I would say the best OVC class of at least the last century anyway. Jim, who was a mixed animal practitioner and has spent time working a great deal in international veterinary medicine, is currently the client services veterinarian for the Provincial Animal Health Laboratory, which is also located in OVC. Jim.
Thank you, Peter. Dean Stone, Dr. Conlon, distinguished guests, friends, family, faculty and staff of OVC, and especially you, the student veterinarians of the class of 2014. It is a pleasure that I bring you greetings from the Canadian Veterinary Medical Association. Dr. Doug Roberts, the president, is currently traveling on CVMA business and offers his greetings. As Peter has mentioned, I spent 23 years in private practice just north of here in a completely mixed practice, dealing with everything from camels to African pygmy hedgehogs, but mostly dogs and cats and cows and pigs and things like that. Spent 2 years in a foreign country. That was quite an experience, and it took me a while to get there. You people will have much more opportunity to travel internationally, and I encourage you to do that. I'll talk more about that in a minute. And spent the last little bit. I never thought when I left the hallowed halls of OVC, I never thought I would be back. I thought I'd have enough of it here. But 6 years ago, I came back, and I found the opportunity to come back, and it's great being back. Compared to my years as a student as OVC, as Peter's mentioned, 1980, and you could put BC after that, before computers. I don't think we didn't have anything like that. In fact, and my wife keeps mentioning this to me, of course, when you get out of school, you're earning some money, you get a little bit of money. First thing I bought was an Atari computer, and things have gone downhill from there. You're ending a profession with so much information to absorb, but at the same time, so many digital tools to sort and prioritize. You'll hear much about the CVMA in the coming years ahead. It is the veterinary organization that represents veterinarians nationally from coast to coast. With approximately a total of 11,000 veterinarians in Canada, it's not a large organization, and we want to have one voice when presenting our concerns. Throughout your time here on graduation and beyond, I encourage you to get involved, whether it be with the CVMA, the other specialty groups here, the OVMA, the College of Veterinarians of Ontario, and also when you get out into practice. We all advocate on your behalf. You all become members of the SCVMA, or you now are all members of the SCVMA, students of the Canadian Veterinary Medical Association, during your stay at OVC. The CVMA has 3 priorities: animal welfare, leadership on national issues, and a work-life balance, the successful practice of veterinary medicine. I won't speak much more about those now, and in fact, I think on Friday, I'll speak with you about those in a little bit more. Today, our priority is to greet you into this incredible profession. You have been selected because of your determination, your capacity to learn, and your love of animals. Of course, you could not have chosen a better institution, but I could be biased there. Here you have diversity, you have new challenges, and you have an incredible faculty and staff. And once again, since I'm staff here, I may be a little biased there as well. In the coming months and years, you'll be faced with many challenges, and I know you will succeed, and as we have all managed to do. Veterinary medicine is a career with almost infinite professional possibilities, private practice being one, education, research, industry, food safety, international development. I know here that your mascot is the emerald elephant, which obviously has international connotations. There are now numerous opportunities to gain experience internationally with Global Vets, Vets Without Borders, CETA, and other organizations. And I encourage you to do that. You'll be one of the go-to people the public will rely on for information on diseases that relate to that human-animal interface, as Dr. Stone has mentioned, the One Health concept. I'd like to relay you a little story now where I suddenly found myself involved in that, and this was in March of 2003. I was coming to the office in Beijing, China, and there was a little buzz going on. This was the CETA office. It was at the Kempinski Hotel complex. And there's a little buzz going around the office when I came in that morning. And what had happened was an expat had been treated at the clinic just below us, the international clinic just below us, and had died of SARS. So there happened to be 2 veterinarians in our office, myself and Dr. Brian Bedard, who is an epidemiologist. And we were tasked with trying to find out what was happening, what we should be doing, should we be wearing masks, should we be evacuating the building. Obviously, clearer heads prevailed, and we didn't need to do that, but we were thrust into that comparative physiology, anatomy, and medicine that will make you unique. I challenge you to be bold and explore a new field of practice that you have never exposed to before as you go through your years here. Be proud ambassadors of this profession as you talk to your colleagues and peers. We need you to tell everybody what the profession is about. This is the beginning. You've worked hard to get here. CVMA will be there with you. Wear your lab coat proudly. Work hard, but one more thing, take time to relax as well, and success will be yours. Mr. Chair.
Thanks very much, Jim. The Ontario Veterinary Medical Association is the organization that represents veterinarians and our interests in this province. Dr. Irene Moore is a past president of the OVMA. After graduating from OVC in 1986, she worked in mixed animal practice for 8 years, and then in 1994 became an instructor in the veterinary technology program at the Ridgetown campus of the University of Guelph. And Dr. Moore is now the Associate Director of Academics at Ridgetown, where she oversees certificate, diploma, and degree programs in the veterinary technology, agriculture, horticulture, environmental management, and veterinary medical office administration programs at Ridgetown. Irene.